Florida's got a lot of problems. One of them not being talked about nearly enough. They're basically running out of teachers at this point. According to the largest teachers union there, they're short 9,000 teachers. One particular county has 400 vacancies. Now, I don't know how many teachers on average are needed for a school, but 9,000 is many, many whole schools worth of not having the qualified, trained personnel that you need. A new survey was released by the Florida Education Association that shows over 9,500 teaching and staff vacancies statewide. This last year, it was 5,000. So the problem was already significant. It has almost doubled since then. And look, we know, Ben, we've talked a lot about what Florida has been up to over the past few years under Ron DeSantis. They're very focused on schools over the past few years. And that focus apparently hasn't stopped them from being down, getting near 10,000 teachers. It's almost as if the stuff they're focusing on when it comes to schools isn't focusing on the real problems. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, at this point, the ideological basis for it is clear, right? I've obviously compared them to Nazis like a million times now at this point, and here's where another comparison is really clear. Their priority is not education. Their priority is indoctrination, right? Which is why they passed things like the Don't Say Gay bill, where teachers aren't even allowed to mention the fact that they're married to somebody, right? These things are just absurd, they're ridiculous, but it serves a very specific purpose. They do not care even if these students are capable of reading and writing. All they care about is to make sure that these students grow up to be as racist and ignorant and bigoted as possible. And they're doing the same thing at the college level. Right now, Ron DeSantis is pushing for this survey of public universities in Florida to make sure that they have the right ideological diversity, which never means, by the way, Marxists, right? They're not bringing people into it. We need to make sure that Ho Chi Minh thought is taught here. We need people to understand principles of Maoism. They're not doing that. Somehow intellectual diversity always means letting the Nazis into the room, right? And so that's what we're seeing here, right? This is basically Ron DeSantis trying to ideologically solidify Florida as the most unhinged, right-wing, ignorant state. And it's basically like a Hitler Youth program. Let's call it what it is, because it's an ideological purge, and they don't care that they don't have enough teachers. They just want to make sure that the teachers that they do have are the ones with the most racist and ignorant ideas.
Yeah, a school system that can't function. I mean, the kids will be there. Are they learning anything? Are they learning anything significant? Are they getting ready for their lives? Are they going to be trained to work, let alone anything beyond that? No. But how would that hurt Republican elites? Why would they care? They want people who are going to be desperate for any job they're able to get. They're not interested in critical thought. And this is not hypothetical. We're not just looking at the results of what they're doing. Isn't Charlie Kirk's new book is about demonizing education, literally the concept of education? And again, it's what we talk about when we talk about fascism. An opposition to education, a demonization of intellectuals is always part of the core of that. And you're seeing the consequences. Now, long term, it's going to cause absolute chaos, but even that chaos is to their benefit. People who are desperate economically, they're probably fertile ground for the sort of bigotries that they like to run on. So anyway, rough times, obviously. Hopefully there are some people in particular counties that are taking this seriously, because you're not going to get anything out of your state government.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.